to check it out for the next little bit. We're starting at the top and work our way down. Alright guys, let's see what's going on. Back in Greyfriar Kirkyard, and Kirkyard, guys, just is the Scottish term for the cemetery. Let's see if I can get out of the wind. That's kind of hard in Edinburgh. Oh, that's a little bit better. So we've actually been here 3-4 times. It's one of probably the most visited kirkyards there is, because it has a lot of great stories, a lot of great history, and you know, especially during the Halloween times. I mean, who doesn't want to see a cemetery? So we've actually been here on the Harry Potter tour, and part of that is because J.K. Rowling actually used to stroll through here and got actually a lot of names and such for the books themselves. And also we came here on the ghost tour because, well, it's a graveyard and lots of scary things happen here. In fact, I will take you over to one of the mausoleums that says it's one of the most haunted places in Edinburgh, let alone the world. So yeah, let's just tool around a little bit. Oh yeah, and one of the favorite stories is Greyfriar Bobby, who's like this little dog who became kind of like a mascot. His owner died and he would come and stay with his owner. It's kind of a very sweet story. I don't want to go through the whole thing. Google it, you'll find it. It's actually really touching, especially if you're an animal fan. So yeah, as well as on the way there, the one street that we passed actually was inspiration too for a lot of different things. So let's check out and see what we got going. I'll show you a few. Alright guys, so right behind me, I don't know if you can see it, is a section of the graveyard that's actually cordoned off. It's actually really historical. It's the Covenanters prison. Once again, like, there's so much history here, guys. Anything I mention, just check it out. The Covenanters were a group that rose up in rebellion, wound up imprisoned here under horrible conditions. I think we're gonna go look at the Harry Potter stuff and then come back to the ghostly mausoleum that's right over there. Seems to be a tour group over there. So yeah, horrible conditions. Definitely something, if you're interested in Scottish history, to check out. But let's continue on. Alright guys, so this part of the cemetery, which is behind Flodden's Wall, has a couple names you might have just seen. Elizabeth Moody. It was kind of an inspiration for Miss Rowling. I'm going to take you down. We're going to look at Thomas Riddle's or Voldemort's grave, and then I'll show you another spot that gave her a little inspiration as well before we head over to the haunted mausoleum. Alright guys, so behind me is the super scary mausoleum that has had people reporting being pushed around, scraped, bruises appearing, all kinds of stuff. The guy who was interred here, honestly guys, I can't remember his name, I want to say it was George, was not a nice guy, and he actually was involved with the Covenanters. Obviously their enemy, and so he actually asked to be buried here close to them, with the presumption, I guess, that he would be able to keep them in check. But definitely check it out. It's much scarier at night, and then there's a whole thing where you can like knock on the door and ask if he's in there. I don't feel like doing that today because, well, frankly, I'm afraid he might answer. That's just the truth. So yeah, definitely check it out. You can take the ghost tours and they'll tell you all about it. So that is Greyfriars Kirkyard. It goes from everywhere from being inspiration to J.K. Rowling to being a really great story about a loyalty in pets to a scary ass story where the guy still haunts there and pushes you around and everything. So yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna head over to St. Giles' Cathedral. Hello little squirrel. These squirrels are so friendly. And then it is maybe the museum, guys. I'm not gonna lie, we may not make it to the museum. I'm starting to feel a little museumed out. There was 2 or 3 in the castle, so let's see. So common theme for today, we have been here actually a couple of times. This is St. Giles Cathedral. It is actually not a cathedral, it is a church. It doesn't have a bishop, and you may recognize it once I show you the 360 view from the latest Avengers. This is where Scarlet Witch and Vision had their big battle. They do it and then they land on the top of the Waverly train station. That's all here. So in case you were wondering when you see it, why it looks so damn familiar, that might be why. We're gonna go in, check it out, see what's going on. All right, guys. bus stop. This is where I'm gonna trail off. We are in another kirkyard, just across from the Museum of Edinburgh. It was a nice museum, a little small, and then the new town exhibit was being fixed, so wasn't much there on it. So just gonna till around, check it out, take a few pics. This is where I'm gonna end today. Had a great day. Make sure you check out the castle. I highly suggest 3-4 hours. So make it an all-day thing if you don't want to spend too much time, you know, if you want to have some free time. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.